Chapter 6 was a big chapter. This is the one where we put everything together. Even though we didn't spend a lot of time on it, we made a lot of decisions. We used all of the math that we've developed throughout this course to decide on which businesses and which opportunities we want to take and when to invest and when not to. We're going to go over a few criteria. The first is always profit. Overall, before we take interest into account at all, are we making money or are we losing money? If overall we're losing money, we usually stop right there. Next, we're going to talk about payback. If we're making a profit, how long before we get our initial investment back? Does it take us 20 years or does it take us 1 year? In general, earlier is better, and we'll usually have some sort of time frame that works for us. The problem with a long payback is that money is locked away and we can't make other opportunities or other investments. That's an opportunity cost or loss. So it better be a good investment if we're going to lock away our money for a long period of time. Once we've calculated payback and we know we're making a profit, we can look at our net present value. This is when we assign an interest rate of how we value money or what we think we can get with other investments and look at it at that interest rate when we move every different cash flow to the beginning to right now. Is it a profit or a loss? A positive net present value means we're doing better than the interest rate we set, and a negative net present value means we're doing worse. When we're comparing two, we're always going to go for the bigger net present value as long as it's positive. If they're both negative, then we're going to choose not to invest at all. Net present value means that we have an interest rate in mind. If we don't have an interest rate in mind, we can use the IRR or internal rate of return to come up with the actual rate of our investment. That's our actual rate of return. High is good, low is bad. There's lots of other tools here. We're not going over all of them. I'm going to say there is equivalent uniform annualized cost, there's cost benefit ratio, as well as taking into account risk. Maybe there's a chance that we'll get a lot of money, but there's also a chance we could lose all of our money. We're going to continue with that in statistics. If you continue along in your business math journey, then you'll be doing business statistics where we'll evaluate risk. Now, just because an investment doesn't meet all of our criteria doesn't mean we have to stop right away and not invest. It's worth saying that sometimes we can make changes. We can either increase prices to increase our revenue, or we can come up with a way to reduce costs. In other words, that net present value just gives us a bar to aspire to. It says we should make the following changes, and then this will be a better investment. On the other hand, just because we've met all of our criteria, short payback, high net present value, high IRR, doesn't mean that we should invest. There's always going to be other things, other metrics, as well as our own personal ethics and what our business is doing. A business that makes skis and snowboards is probably not going to want to get into a shampoo making opportunity. So there's lots of other things, but this is the quantitative side of decision making. I hope that you learned a lot over this course. I certainly did. And maybe I will see you in statistics.